The thing about Malayalam cinema is that it still impresses me even when the film is far from perfect. How? Let's talk about it. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and today we're talking about the Malayalam film Maranamass, written and directed by the debutant Sivaprasad. This is the film for which I got to interview Basil Joseph. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out on the channel after this. This film is a black comedy thriller and it is a lot of fun, but also has its own issues. But the thing that impresses me are the ideas. They are so refreshing, they are so unique. It is a serial killer thriller, but it's also goofy. It's humorous. There are moments which just crack you and you'll be laughing out loud. But it also gets serious and tense. And that's the roller coaster ride it takes you on. Now it has its flaws. It takes time to get to the tone of the film. There are a lot of characters we are dealing with, so you need time to set them up, and that involves a lot of exposition. The film needs to place all its pieces, so when they come back into the story later, it all makes sense. And that takes its time and delays us to come to the exciting moment from where the narrative picks up. With so many moving elements, that's where I felt the writing could have been more sharper. Even the editing need to be very crisp because there were some pacing issues. Because when we come to the exciting moment in the narrative, the film doesn't hold it for too long. We kind of slow down and there's this lack of urgency in the story. And the slowdown happens because it wants to give time to the characters' emotional arc. Now all the characters are so vibrant, but they feel inconsistent. The way the film establishes each character, they all are different levels of crazy. And you get to know what all of them want. They will do anything for it. Be it revenge, wedding, longing, or love. And a story tests these characters to define who they really are. Are they desperate enough to continue what they want, or are they willing to sacrifice it for the greater good? But in this film, the way the characters are established, we never go through the test. We never come to a point where they have to take a decision. Even when they have to, it is done at the convenience of the plot. Because the plot wants to go in one direction, all the characters are going in there, irrespective of what they want or they really want to go or not. We have to talk about the humor in the film. It is so crazy and stupid. Now, being a spoof, the film is referencing a lot many things, and I actually caught many of them. Be it a special cameo or casting an actor like Babu Antony, or all the references to other Malayalam films. There are even times where it gets really ridiculous, and it's a very fine line. You can start to lose the plot because of the humor, but the film treats it well, mostly. I did feel at moments the film could have been more visually engaging, maybe some visual humor, which they actually did at some point, but I needed more of it. There are some very random moments in the film which really make you chuckle because they are so random, and that adds fun to the film. And to talk about some of the ideas in the film which were really amusing, but to do that I have to get into spoilers. So if you have seen the film, then only continue watching. We basically have a serial killer who's ruthless and is going after old people. He's called the banana clown because he leaves a banana in the victims, and the reason why he does that has its own misunderstanding. Now his next target is an old man who's left in an old age home by his son, and that should make you feel sympathetic to this character, but you don't, because he's a pervert, and you don't mind serial killer coming after him for his own revenge. And there comes the twist that the old man dies before he can kill him. How often does a serial killer fail just before he gets caught? That is such a sad thing for a serial killer. And how does he die? Because he molested a girl and she used pepper spray on him, and not knowing he had asthma, he passes away. And we have all our characters intertwined in this situation. How do they get out of it? They need to get rid of the body. The serial killer wants the body, but none of those people know he's a serial killer and he cannot reveal it. So how does he get the body out? He tries everything and is unable to do it. The way the film creates these interesting scenarios is so much fun. Now when they try to dump the body, we get the reveal that the old man was actually the father of the conductor who lost his father in his childhood. And how did he find out? Because of the tattoo. And the moment I saw that, I knew there'll be some funny thing behind this tattoo also, which we later find out. Now there's such a moral conundrum. He loved his father, he's dead now, he respects him, but we also know he was a pervert and that was the cause of his death. Like, how do you deal with this situation? And it was so fun watching it unfold on screen. In respect, they do the final right, but that too in a garbage dump. That's what it deserves, but even that goes unfinished. The Somal cast does a good job with what they had, but the one who stands out is Rajesh Madhavan as the serial killer. Basil Joseph as Luke, I think visually they gave him everything they could to make him look crazy, but writing wise it wasn't there. By the end, not all the character arcs work that well. They do try to create that Priyadarshan chaotic ending, and the climax was fun, but I wish there was this aspect of the fate, because that's what brought these characters together, and the way it ends is more convenient. Still, the film offers a lot of fun, but it's not perfect, unlike this Malayalam film of Basil Joseph, which I absolutely love. Check it out. What are your thoughts? Leave in the comments below, and I will see you next time.